It's March 14th, 2009. Three astronauts are on board the International Space Station, 250 miles above Earth, moving at 17,500 miles per hour. And they just got a call from Mission Control that no astronaut ever wants to hear. We need you to shelter in place, immediately. A piece of space debris, a fragment from a Russian rocket motor about the size of your fist, was on a direct collision course with the station. They had 9 minutes. The astronauts sealed themselves into the Soyuz escape capsule and waited. 9 minutes that could have ended the most expensive object ever built by human hands. This is the story of that day, and the other days nobody talks about. Before we go further, you need to understand what we're talking about. The International Space Station is not just a science lab floating in space. It took 13 years and over 40 construction flights to build. 15 countries contributed hardware to it. It weighs nearly 1 million pounds. The total cost? Over $150 billion, making it the single most expensive object ever constructed in human history. It's been continuously inhabited since November 2000. That's over 24 years of humans living in space without a break. If something destroys the ISS, it's gone. There is no backup. There's no rebuilding it. That chapter of human history just ends. So when I say it came close to being destroyed, more than once, I want you to understand what that actually means. Let's go back to that morning in March 2009. The debris in question was a fragment from a Pegasus rocket upper stage. It had been orbiting Earth for years, completely harmless, until orbital decay shifted its path directly into the ISS's lane. The problem was timing. NASA's standard protocol requires at least a 24-hour window to plan a debris avoidance maneuver, firing thrusters to bump the station into a slightly different orbit. They found out about this particular fragment with less than 3 hours to spare. There wasn't enough time to run the numbers safely. If they fired the thrusters without proper calculations, they could accidentally make the collision more likely. So they made the call: don't maneuver, shelter the crew, pray the fragment misses. It did, by less than 3 miles. In space, 3 miles sounds like a lot, but at the closing speeds involved, it's nothing. It's a coin flip. But that's not even the closest the ISS has come to disaster. Go back to July 2001. A Progress resupply ship, a Russian cargo vehicle, was docked to the station. During a routine undocking maneuver, its thrusters fired unexpectedly. The ISS began to rotate, not slowly. The angular velocity was enough that if it continued, it would exceed the structural tolerances of the station's solar panels. They would shear off. Without solar panels, the station loses power. Without power, life support fails. The crew and ground controllers had minutes to diagnose the problem, override the automated systems, and fire the station's own thrusters in the opposite direction to counteract the spin. It worked, but it was that close. Here's what people don't talk about enough. When something goes wrong on the ISS, the people saving it aren't just the astronauts on board. It's a team of engineers on the ground, sometimes in different countries, sometimes woken up in the middle of the night, who have to diagnose problems they've never seen before, in real time, with human lives depending on the answer. In the 2001 incident, it was a flight controller named Bill Reeves who first caught that the angular rate was climbing too fast. He called it out. The team responded within seconds. That's the part that doesn't make it into the press releases. The unnamed engineers who look at a number on a screen and know immediately that something is wrong. In the 2009 debris event, the decision to shelter in place rather than maneuver was made by a team that had maybe 90 minutes of real deliberation time. They chose caution over action, and it was the right call. This is what spaceflight actually looks like. Not the launches, not the landings. The quiet, terrifying moments in between, when everything is fine until it isn't. After 2009, NASA and its international partners completely overhauled the debris tracking protocol. The warning threshold was extended. Any object with a collision probability above 1 in 10,000 now triggers an automatic review. The maneuver decision window was pushed back to give teams more time. They also hardened the shelter-in-place procedure. Every crew member now drills exactly what to do, where to go, and in what order, so that 9 minutes is enough time. The 2001 thruster incident led to new redundancies in the attitude control system and tighter protocols around cargo ship undocking maneuvers. The station is safer today because of these near misses. That's how spaceflight has always worked. You learn from what almost kills you. There are now over 27,000 pieces of tracked debris in low Earth orbit, hundreds of thousands more that are too small to track, but still large enough to be catastrophic. The ISS will be deorbited sometime around 2030. When it comes down, it will be a controlled re-entry over the Pacific Ocean, the same way it lived, precisely engineered. But while it's still up there, the team that watches over it never really sleeps. We know of at least 6 significant close calls the ISS has had since it was first inhabited. 6 times where the outcome could have been different. And here's what I keep thinking about. Those are just the ones we know about, the ones that got reported, the ones that made it into the incident logs. Space is not a vacuum of danger punctuated by exciting moments. It's a constant, invisible gauntlet, and there are people, right now, whose entire job is to make sure the station clears it every single day. If you found this interesting, there's a lot more where that came from. The history of close calls in human spaceflight is longer and stranger than most people realize.